Welcome to the Tasty Cook-Off. Today we're cooking burgers.
I'm Alexis and I'm going to make a classic diner-style burger with pickled red onions and homemade aioli.
Hi, I'm Keanu and I'm making a feta stuffed lamb burger with spicy tomato jam.
Hi, I'm Robin and I am going to be making a gourmet pub burger with caramelized onions and bacon. First thing I'm going to do is cook my bacon. I like my bacon extra crispy. Right now the bacon looks pretty good. I'm gonna take it out of the pan. I'm cutting my onions into thin slices so they caramelize better. I'm gonna cook the onions in the bacon fat, and then I'm gonna add some brown sugar and balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna stir it in until the sugar is dissolved. Then I'm gonna reduce the heat to low and keep that warm till my burger's ready. Now I'm gonna butter and toast my buns. I'm making a pub style burger, which is a thicker patty. I'm forming these patties into about the size of a baseball. Flatten it slightly and thumb the center so the whole patty cooks evenly. I just salt and pepper the surfaces of the burger so it gets a nice crust. I'm sort of treating this burger like a steak. I'm watching the browning on the sides. Watch it rise about 3/4 of the way, and I'm gonna flip it once, then add Gruyère cheese, and cook that for about 3 minutes more before I finish it off at the oven. The entire burger is just gonna be a giant flavor bomb. It's gonna be very rich, but it's gonna be balanced. You're gonna have saltiness, you're gonna have sweetness, you're gonna have the pepperiness from the arugula, and the butteriness from the toasted buns. It's just gonna seal it all in. I prefer the pub burger. It's messier, it requires more attention. I just like a big, thick, meaty, juicy burger.
I'm going to make a classic diner-style burger with pickled red onions and homemade aioli. To make the pickled red onions, I'm going to bring apple cider vinegar, sugar, and salt to a boil, remove it from the heat, add the onions, and let it sit for an hour at room temperature. While the onions are pickling, I'm going to make my aioli. You add an egg yolk, Dijon mustard, garlic, whisk them together, and then I'm slowly going to add the olive oil until it begins to emulsify. And at the end, it should be thick and creamy. Once you add the lemon juice, the aioli will become paler in color. Salt to taste. Aioli will keep up to 2 days in the fridge, but after that you want to throw it away. I'm going to butter the buns with melted butter and then put them under the broiler for 1.5 minutes so they just get a little toasted. For diner style burgers, you just want to take about a 4-ounce piece of ground beef, roughly shape it into a mound. Think like a glorified meatball. I'm seasoning the meat with salt and pepper, and then I'm going to get the cast iron really hot, a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to add the meat mounds and then immediately smash it down with a spatula. Diner style patties cook really quickly. It should be about 2 to 3 minutes on this side. As soon as I flip the burger, I'm adding the cheddar cheese. By the time the cheddar cheese has melted, the burger should be done cooking. It's got the perfect combination of pickles from the red onions, it's got that creamy aioli to go with the really juicy meat, and then melted cheese. A thin diner style patty is classic, all American, and it's really easy to make at home. I just made my dream burger.
I'm making a feta stuffed lamb burger with spicy tomato jam. So I'm gonna put in onions, tomatoes, lemon juice, brown sugar, red pepper flakes, ground cumin, ground coriander, and salt. I'm gonna put all these ingredients in a saucepan and cook it over high heat for 15 minutes until it comes to a boil. Then reduce it down to medium heat for another 20 minutes or so until it becomes a jam. So for my burger, I'm using ground lamb. I'm going to season it with some garlic, ground cumin, cilantro, and also chopped mint. It's gonna give it a good mix together, but you don't wanna over mix it because it will become tough and dense. And we're gonna just divide this into patties. So now we're gonna stuff the burgers to create like a nice little bowl. We're gonna stuff it with some feta, and then we're just gonna form the patty around the cheese. Place your patties into a hot cast iron pan, 3 to 4 minutes each side. They're gonna cook a little bit faster than a pub burger because that middle part has that cheese in it, so think of it as like empty space. So now we're gonna make our spread, Dijon mustard and mayonnaise. Now I'm gonna assemble. My burger is a bit different than the other two, but still has all the classic ingredients you expect in a burger. So you have ground meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and onion, but using the burger as like a vessel to get a bit more creative. Feta can dry out really easy, so it's actually really smart to put it inside the burger so it can retain all of its moisture.
It's had a feeling of expensive burger. When you go to fancy restaurant, I really like the caramelized onion. It gave a very sweet flavor into the burger. Everything is like very well balanced and very juicy. That's really important. When when you bite it, the outside of the pate is kind of crunchy. Inside it's still juicy and moist. It's very sophisticated with pickled onion. The pickled onion kind of cuts the fattiness of the pate. It's very fresh and very nice, classy burger. Keanu's burger is super different from the other two. I feel like I've never had it before. Like I had lamb before, I had lamb meatball, but with tomato jam, it's really flavorful. Everything was really good, so it was very tough choice, but Keanu's burger was my favorite. I really like all the combination. I think it was very different and it stood out.
Oh, yes!